Hello friends, in this video we will critically examine Plato's theory of ideal state. In this regard we will mention Plato's theory of ideal state and then features of an ideal state of Plato, and then we will criticize the concept of ideal state. Plato has provided his theory of ideal state in his famous book The Republic. Plato's ideal state is based on certain fundamental principles such as classification of people into three classes: guardian or philosopher class, soldiers class, and trader class, and then establishments of justice, a state regulated system of education, communism of property and family. Plato has built the state on the analogy of an individual organism. He has presented the view that an individual used to present almost the same features and qualities on a smaller scale as society on a bigger scale. As I have already mentioned that Plato's ideal state is based on certain fundamental principles. So the first fundamental principle is that three classes of citizen in the state. According to Plato, a state is the product of human soul and which is imposed of three elements such as wisdom, courage, and appetite. Corresponding to these three human elements, there are three classes of people: guardian or philosopher class, soldiers class, and traders class or producing class. When these three class people perform their duties without interfering in each other's affairs, the justice prevailed. The second fundamental principle is concept of education. According to Plato, if all the people perform their allotted task without interfering in each other's affairs, philosopher class or guardian class are used to attain the necessary skills and knowledge through a state-regulated system of education. According to Plato, the state-regulated system of education aims to developing wise rulers and virtuous citizens in the ideal state. The third fundamental principle is concept of family. The ideal state was also marked by the presence of the system and communism of property and family. Under this system of communism, the guardian class had no right to have family and private property. Plato considered attachments toward family and private property as the greatest obstacles in the way of achieving unity of the state, and this would help guardian class to devote themselves to the service of the state. Now we will know features of an ideal state of Plato. So the first feature is rule of philosophy. Plato is of the view that in an ideal state, the philosopher ruler should be prominent. He should have a broader vision of unity of knowledge. Philosopher kings are emerged from the provision of law and public opinion. The second features of ideal state of Plato is no unqualified absolutism. In Plato's concept of an ideal state, there is neither restraints of law nor of public opinion over philosopher rulers. But that is not an unqualified absolutism. It is not all despotism, because rule of philosophy is not free from the basic articles of the constitution. The third feature is control over the education system. Philosopher rulers should control the education system in an ideal state. The fourth feature is justice in ideal state. Justice is the main feature of Plato's Republic, and it is also present in his ideal state. Justice bound every member of society together, and it forms a harmonious union of individuals. Next, censorship of art and literature. In an ideal state of Plato, there should be a complete censorship of art and literature. It is necessary so that nothing immoral things might fall into hands of the young individuals. Next, system of communism. Plato was of the view that guardian class should live under the system of communism of property and family. The rulers and the soldiers do not possess any property of their own. Next, equality among men and women. According to Plato, equal opportunities should be given to both men and women for their economic, social, intellectual, and political uplift. It can be said that Plato can be regarded to be the first feminist of his time. And the last features of Plato's ideal state is principle of functional specialization. Plato is of the view that due to multiple wants, an individual could not fulfill all his desires by himself alone. Thus, cooperation among individuals should be necessary to satisfy their mutual desires. Some people are specialized in performing some certain task. Now we will see criticism of the concept of ideal state of Plato. Plato's theory of ideal state is subjected to several criticisms, which can be mentioned as follows. Number 1. Plato's ideal state is a utopian state. It cannot be realized in practice. His concept of philosopher king, communism of property and family are anti-human in nature. Number 2. In Plato's ideal state, there was no provision for law. The philosopher king was not bound by any law. Number 3. Plato's ideal state was anti-democratic. In such a state, all powers were concentrated in the hand of philosopher king or the guardian class, and opinions of the other people were not given any importance. Number 4. Plato fails to condemn the institution of slavery and regards it as fundamental evils. Number 5. Plato's system of communism of human and temporary marriage is detestable and unethical. Number 6. Plato is moralist rather than idealist. His assumptions that states should control entire life of citizens is false, contrary to human liberty. And number 7. Plato completely ignores the lower class in his ideal state, which forms the great bulk of population. Such negligence may divide the society into two hostile groups. In this video, we have discussed Plato's theory of ideal state, features of an ideal state of Plato, and then criticism of the concept of ideal state. So I hope it will be helpful for you. Thank you so much for discussing.